Hey there and happy Friday. So it has been a month since I've been able to be live with you guys here and give you some inspiration with Belle Harder, inspiring others. So I'm excited to be back. Since I last was live or did any kind of video, I went to a wedding in California, then flew to Seattle and boarded the cruise ship for the Alaskan cruise, was Stampin' Up, and had a great time there. Thank you so much for everybody that helps me achieve those lofty goals, because like we have to say, less than 1% of demos earn that incentive trip. And so I like to let people know that that's what they make us say, but it just also puts things into reality too. I hope that you can hear me well. All of a sudden, I just realized that our youngest, Drake, is out there weed whipping. I love it, but I didn't realize he's going to do that right now, right by my window. So let me start off your weekend with a very quick and easy card here. And love the color combination. I've got some Berry Burst and Secret Sea together, and I just want to highlight kind of this pretty paper that I'm loving using. So let me get my camera turned around here for you and see if I can't get a good kind of close-up shot, but not too close up. Here, we'll see. All right, there, maybe we'll go with that. I never know if how I have it on my camera is how it turns out looking where you are viewing it too. So here is the close-up of today's card. Hold on one second. I'm going to see where he's at with that. Yeah, he is right outside my window, but there's not a lot there, so he shouldn't be there for long, I hope. Okay, so this is just a note card, and just a quick and easy, like I said, one to put together. And this is featuring the Moonlit Flora Designer Series paper. I love DSP that has like the darker tones for the background, because it really makes those lighter colors really pop and make the whole pattern very rich. So I've been using this quite a bit lately and love it, love it. I think it might be out of stock now, somebody noticed, and I'm not sure. I didn't look to see when the return date will be, but I know it will be returning, so there have no fear on that, put it that way. And if you're going to be at a class of mine, I've had a couple this month. That's where I've been also. And I think my next one will be Thursday, July 9th. If that's a Thursday on the 9th, I'm pretty sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, Thursday, July 9th, I will be in Fairmont. So this is some paper that I have on hand too, if you're unable to get it ordered and want to even pop in and buy it, or if you're going to be at the class and want me to set one aside, let me know. So for this, like I said, the color combination that I'm using is Berry Burst and then some Secret Sea. That's just for the inside, and then the pretty paper also. And so see the strip here? It's like a 3/4 inch strip. And as I was prepping today, I thought, oh, let's show, like, if you don't have the full strip, sometimes it's an easy thing. Like, people know this, and sometimes people just need that aha moment, little strips or pieces like this. Well, when you only need a piece to show that much, it doesn't matter how long the strip is underneath. So even though I have a full one underneath there, nobody knows that, and nobody's going to know if you have a smaller one to use with that as well. So I thought, I have these little pieces here. I think I'm going to use them. All right, so let's get started with our card and get it put together for you. So I think what I'm going to do to start is show you this really pretty Fern and Flora 3D embossing folder. Love this. It just makes such nice, deep designs in here. So like I said, 4 by 5 1/4 of the Secret Sea. Hello there, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Feel like we haven't been together on here for a while, so this is good. Yeah, I have lots of projects for you guys. So my goal, even though it's a holiday week next week, is to get some videos going for you guys. So yeah, so let me run this through here, and then you can see. I love the 3D folders because look at that. Isn't that great to have that on there? And if you were doing this with our 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock, you could do an extra little bit of sanding, or say you wanted to have some white pop on there, you could take our blending brushes and a white ink pad and do that. But I like it just like this, just the way it is. So let me get some adhesive on the back. And with my 3D folders, I like to slow down as I apply the adhesive, just because sometimes that wants to pull up and keep connecting, and you end up with the cardstock in your ink, or not in your ink, in your adhesive cartridge, and that's not fun. So this is just going to go on top of the Berry Burst card base, like so, and this is going to open this way today for us. So we got that. And then, like I said, I have these little pieces here. So instead of that whole long strip that's 3/4 by 5 1/4, that's what I cut mine, I just had these little pieces here, and I thought, well, why throw them away, or keep them, if you're like me, keep them and then have them in a spot where it's just like it's sitting there forever. So I'm going to kind of just line this up between the 5 and the 7 there. And then I'm going to eye this across here and hopefully make it look like it's lined up on the other side just by eyeing it. That's good enough for me. I think it'll turn out just fine. And then with that pretty paper here, the Moonlit Flora, I cut this 2.75 by 2.75, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this as well, and then put that on a piece of 3 by 3 inch Berry Burst. And then let's get some dimensionals going on here. I'm just going to put dimensionals on each of the 4 corners like that. And then this is ready to go. I'm gonna not really center it in the middle, but I'm gonna have it down a little bit farther on the bottom, closer to the bottom than the top, just personal preference. And then let's take, so the stamps that I'm using here actually aren't from the Moonlit Flora Whole Suite collection. I love the lovely arrangements. So I wanted Just a Note. I love making cards to have ahead of time. So the Just a Note is perfect for that. And then in the Scalloped Blooms from this new catalog that just came out, there's this great little die here, and it's this one that matches up here. I've been using a lot of these for my projects lately. So like anything, do you look at things and go, I don't really need that, right? And then I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to like it though. And so I got it right away, and so glad I did, because I have been using, like I said, a lot of the dyes. So you can see I've been messing around with ink already. I've got yellow on my finger, and it has nothing to do with the project that I'm even working on with you guys right now. So I think you can all relate to that as well. All right, so I've just got this kind of little tab here, and I'm going to open up my Secret C ink pad. And, oops, I'm gonna move my package here before it crashes down. All right, Just a Note, and this is the joy of having the photopolymer stamps, is because I can see right through on my acrylic block to get that lined up nicely. Thank you, Pam. It's good to see you on here too. Very simple layout. And so I love that you said nice layout and not like card or anything, because hopefully then you can go, you know what? I have little pieces of designer series paper, or maybe just like a strip of it. I could make like a couple cards, 2 or 3 or 4 out of that 2.75 by 2.75 strip there, and then just kind of layer it. So hopefully this is a layout that you guys think that you could use, especially with these little strips. I think we all have little pieces and bits to do that, and then just choose a couple solid colors. I was actually going to do white for this background, and I couldn't get the colors to pop like I wanted. And what I wanted were these tiny little white flowers to kind of do the popping against that dark background. And I think there was just too much white, so it just didn't do anything. And then when I added kind of the deeper Berry Burst and then the deeper Secret C, it just really came together well. So I like that Just a Note there. And then for my embellishment, we have the Dewdrops embellishments, and that goes with the suite too. So we've got some Secret C, and then kind of that lighter green, and even the clear. So people have been using, when they use this paper, kind of the the color, depending on the paper, that makes it kind of stand out. But these are all pretty, I would say, pretty subtle dewdrops, like for the embellishments, which are kind of fun because they're on there, but yet just kind of subtle. And once again, it's just a little tiny piece of paper. So you don't want to go too crazy with something big and bold for embellishment. So I'm just gonna, add about, excuse me, 3 of those. And then depending on where that is, yeah, then you can kind of see it or not. So I'm using the green ones. The clear ones look great. The blue ones, I feel like they're going to kind of be washed out. Or if I try and make them show up on the green, it looks kind of a little, just a little weird or something like that. And now, since this is a note card, I'm just going to go with a blank 4 by 5 1/4 piece for the inside. Got a little flake of something on there. Okay. And so I'm not going to, I know it's unusual for me. I didn't want to take any of this other paper too, which is from there. I could have done that, but I just didn't feel like, excuse me, I didn't feel like this coordinated very well against that berry burst. If there was any part of the berry burst in here, it might work, or even that, but I just feel like these colors are brought together by this piece. But once I do this, it didn't have that same effect. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something odd and just leave the inside blank, which I don't do very often. So hopefully that gives you some inspiration. And like Pam said, with the layout, not just the card, the layout. So I love it when you guys can say, yes, I copied that layout and I had this or that laying out and decided just to copy your card today. So that's always a fun thing to hear from you guys. So hopefully, excuse me, my allergies are not adjusting to Minnesota this spring at all. So, so that's why I'm not sick or anything. It's just that. And then if I talk for like 15 minutes straight, then I get this coughing thing a little bit. So, excuse me for that. But hopefully you guys have a fun weekend planned, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.